Yeah, so what? It's your boy, Bits and Bobs. Cheers, mate.
Cheers.
Ian, morning.
Morning.
How are you?
I'm very well, yourself?
I'm good. Ian Black, the football player, right? But I've got to ask you this very, very quickly, right? Laverick night. What are you doing in Cav?
Well, it was a long story short, it was end of season night out, and that was the
But why Cav?
I
Why?
think back in the, well, that was years ago now,
Ah.
so back in the day that was the place to go. So you just follow the crowd, you know what I mean? All the boys are going there, so yeah, just let's go. But
So obviously you've got the usual queue up boy, get in ball, fracas ball, blah. And unfortunate circumstances, you've been arrested, right? Now, before leading up to the being arrested, right? Obviously, charges cleared, nothing, you were found not guilty, perfect. But why did they come to you?
because, well, the substance that
Yeah,
I
yeah.
had was put in my hand, but when it was put in my hand, the bouncer was like within touching distance, so
Got you.
he seen me, so I turned around and I went, look, he just gave me that, there you go. And he was like, no, you've been in the toilet. I was like, you've just literally just watched and stood, and I'm just saying, look, that boy's found it and I've gave you it. But bouncers, they obviously knew who we were.
Yeah.
But what to make a name and think, well, they're great opportunity.
I've just caught you back, right? Got you.
Man, it just went for there, and obviously by the time I was arrested and all that, but when I was in the back of the police van, obviously the phone's supposed to be off, but managed to like keep it between my legs, and I was getting text messages saying, if you give us like a large lump sum of money, we'll make this go away. And I was like, I've just like been charged, like it's done and dusted now, like, and obviously it was perfect for me because it was like extortion. Like,
Yeah.
My ammunition for
Yep, of course.
And my lawyer, when I explained like what had happened and where I was, by the time he went to the club in the morning to get the cameras, they weren't working that night.
Funny that.
So aye, and then the bouncers obviously never appeared at court. The 2 or 3 times I was there, so it speaks for itself.
Yeah, exactly right. Obviously, it was a long wait to the trial and stuff, right? See, he's playing football, and you know the old saying goes, when you get on the pitch, everything goes out. But that's quite serious though, because your family, right? You know, and you know yourself. Everyone says innocent until proven guilty. That's not the case.
No.
It's not, because you are a footballer, you're a role model. I don't always agree with people say football should be role models, because the way I see it, footballers, it's their job.
Yeah.
So just the way I go to work, you're going to work. So how did you deal with playing with all that mentally and obviously emotionally?
I'm not going to lie and say it wasn't tough. It was like a tough period of like life, like time. But I think the way I was and the way like my dad and my mum brought me up, like taught me like, you know, like you can like brush stuff aside and just get on with it. So for some reason I just managed to deal with it and sort of like blank it out, because I knew all I wanted to do was play football, so I had like something to focus on. Like, you'd have like your games when you were playing away, the crowds would be
obviously, but you expect that though anyway.
But I seem to like, I love the bad crowds, you know, like abusing me and shouting. It seemed to like make me
bit of a compliment though, isn't it?
They knew I was there, so which was good. So it didn't really affect me too much. So there was a worry.
Yeah, of course. Was there a worry about, just the last segment on this, was there a worry about your family's safety?
No,
that's good.
No.
That's good. That makes me happy. So obviously, Edinburgh boy, okay, plays for Edinburgh club, wins the Scottish Cup, plays for his country. I said this to you earlier. That's the dream.
Looking back now, because obviously you didn't know how your career was going to pan out and what I was going to achieve. But yeah, like looking over it now and seeing what I'd done, being a local boy and winning the Scottish it was like a dream come true, and something that like I think every kid now trying to be a pro footballer would want to achieve probably more than what I did, but if not like the same. So a dream come true, and I was delighted with it.
So the night before the cup final, I've got to ask, right? What are you doing? Because it's not just I know. Before you answer, people say, it's just another game of football. But Edinburgh boy, Edinburgh club, Hampden. Do you know what I mean?
I can't. To be honest, I can't actually really like remember. I think I was me and Stephen Elliott. We were sharing a room, obviously, because you go to a hotel.
Yeah.
And I think I can't probably not sleep much because of the adrenaline, the excitement. And I can't like even the game like. I think I've watched the game maybe like twice since.
Oh really?
Aye, but everyone was like a blur, like from like the night before to obviously a couple of days after.
Yeah.
Like partying and that, but aye. Like,
did you win?
I think so. I managed to keep on going. So I suffered after it. Like,
can I imagine?
It was all good. Aye.
So obviously, listen, we all know the score, the favourite score and stuff. When did it hit you? You were a Scottish Cup champion. Was it a few days later when you were sober, or or when you look back at the season and you think, I've won a Scottish Cup, or was it when you hand the medal to your mum?
Well, that I think the moment I realised was I think after the game when I went up the stair to see my old man, because he was like a big help in my career. And I went up and he gave me a big hug, what I mean? So and told me he was proud of me. So I think that was like the first time that I was like, we've just done this, what I mean? Like, even though like the place was like mayhem, like amazing. And that was like quite emotional, but obviously the Derby final, you know what I mean?
Of course.
And to win it like how we did was like but no, like.
Was there any thoughts of we better not lose this because it's Hibs?
Yeah, well, a derby for me, and any player that was playing for Hearts, you never want to lose. Like I was quite fortunate that I think I've 11 derbies and never lost one.
You never lost one, yep, that's right. That's a stat, by the way.
And then, obviously the last game being like for Hearts in the cup final, like in my head I was like, "There's no danger." Like you wouldn't want to like show your face.
I know exactly. I mean? That's how deep it is, isn't it? Like for a player and obviously a fan, if you lose, you don't show your face because Edinburgh is banter city. You'll get it for the fans, the hippies, blah blah.
Like the bragging rights.
Exactly, that is it. And people in the offices, the scaffolding, the work sites and stuff. It's
everywhere you go.
Exactly. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
It's a big rivalry. So like you want to have that bragging rights so you could up the town or
of course.
You're like.
Or when you see a Hibs fan, you just smile.
But you always knew because they would just keep
it walking. When you got your first call saying you're in the squad for Scotland, where were you? How did the call or the chat go? And then what did you do after it?
I can't remember where I was. I remember like just being, I think because they played America before it.
Yeah.
I think that was just after I had my double hernia up, so I think I was supposed to be in that squad.
Okay.
But obviously with the double hernia I was not fit enough.
Yeah.
And then when I got that call, I can't remember, I don't know if it was a club that told me or somebody. And it was like wow, like that. Didn't believe it.
I can imagine.
Straight on the phone to my dad and like my papa when he was still here, and it was just you're just like wow, like I'm actually like just been called up here.
Yeah, and then so you go in, you get the training kit on. From a fan, I'm a fan. Okay, football fan, first utmost football fan. Playing for your country is a massive honour. It's probably the best and biggest honour in any sport.
Yeah.
Right. So you're in the changing room. Is it just then he loses the ball, win your sprints, or is it just enjoy it?
Aye, like it's one of these things like because people even now like people say like like you see press and that like they'll have like typical some bad people.
Yeah, of course.
Put stats up and saying like where are these players now that only got one cap. And I'm like, well, wait, one cap, like, look at how many players are playing in that Scottish football now, from like the low leagues to the the top.
100%.
And hardly, not a lot of them, maybe some of them, obviously, but not a lot will get that one cap. So yeah, like my answer to that is like, I've done it. Like that one cap, like I've achieved what basically every Scottish player is trying to achieve.
Exactly.
And nobody can take that away from me.
And I love that response because you have done it, and the funny thing is the same people, the press or whoever, how they talk about, are the same people who will probably go and watch you.
That's it. Yeah.
Week in, week out, do you know what I mean?
And when I was playing, pay my wages.
Exactly. So obviously it's a dream come true, okay? You've won the Scottish Cup, you've played for Scotland, okay? Rangers. Okay. Now the turmoil with Rangers and stuff, we all know what happened. You know, the finances, they went down. You get a call. Fancy coming to Ibrox.
And I remember where I was when I got the phone call as well. I was Magaluf.
No way!
On a stag do. I think it was either
so wait, so you're in Magaluf,
the last day of
Sunsea, and
we were actually doing the beach as well, at a bag on the beach as well. I think it was the second last day, so obviously you're hamming the bed, you're on a stag.
Yep. Being sociable.
Obviously with all the boys, and obviously my best mate, he was there, so I met like the foreman. Obviously I was like, that's the agent, so I was like come with me now, like just so like blah blah blah, right, with Rangers. And I was like, and he was like throwing figures in, and I was like, obviously you're still half juiced on the beach.
Exactly.
And I was like, what, like wow. And he was like, but we've knocked it back. And I was like, what? Like, obviously,
Rangers,
he was like, no, we'll just try to push him a bit. And I was like, alright, like,
as it goes, wheelers and dealers.
About 10 minutes later, obviously another couple of drinks in, like, try to hold this in, like, not tell anybody. Foment again, I was like, saying to my mate, I was like, and he was
Let's
like,
go.
I was like, mate, it's done. I was like, I'm going to Rangers. He was a Rangers fan as well, so he was like absolutely delighted.
Buzzing.
And he was looking at me, I was like, they're picking me up at the airport tomorrow. I was like, mate,
but were you still due? Were you still due to still be in Magaluf at the time?
No, like, I think that's what I mean. I can't remember if it was it was either the second last day or the last day, so I was like,
okay.
And we're all reeking. I was like, I'm going for a medical. Like, I'm still like all this alcohol in my system, and if I need to do running like that, there's like I'm like no,
I'm feeling this.
Yeah, like they'll just rip up the deal there and then. He's like, right, but you can't tell the boys in that. He's like, right. I was like, right. When I get a drink, I said I'll just like get shandies or
just try and
get a bottle and
slide.
like walk about with it for like. So I was like, right. So I never took the time, but then I thought, I'm going to have to tell the boys, because when I got off this air, they're playing at the other side.
It's got to be representatives picking you up.
And we've got a bus. All the boys have gone back in the bus together, and they're like, oh, so I was like, see.
So when did you tell them?
I think probably about another couple of drinks down. And then and half of that like group was like Celtic fans as well, so it went down like a lead balloon. And then just on the plane back, sober, they're all dying, but it's worked out a treat because I was nice and fresh. I picked up straight to Glasgow, medical, and
done.
That was it.
And did you see the gaffer? Did you?
Not on the medical, just the physio and the club.
As you do,
but once that was all done, because they were still going through whether they were staying up.
The legal dealings.
I couldn't go into train.
Oh really?
I think I'd signed, and I think it took maybe about 2 weeks before I was allowed to go.
Go out. So what did you do in the 2 weeks then? You go back to Magaluf?
I should have, because I was honestly like I think I was texting McCoy like every second day saying like, can I come in, because I was just like eager
buzzing to go in.
And he was like, no, like you can't yet. The press, there's too much like media about. Because they didn't they'd announced it yet.
No,
because they never knew where they were
going to be. Obviously,
And then I think it was the Wednesday I got the phone call. Right, come in Thursday. But the other, we were playing Brecon in one of the cups on the Saturday. So I just came away for a double hernia. Like I was over in my glue for the staples and went to train on the Thursday. I think I trained with the physio on the Thursday just because I wanted to check how I was.
So you are mobile, yeah.
Trained with the group on the Friday because you didn't do much for the game.
Yeah.
And then in the squad
That's
Saturday.
Serious?
Like literally no running, no pre-season, no rehab, nothing, and I ended up
a few
playing
cocktails down.
90 minutes in extra time, and I didn't think I could walk for about 2 weeks after it. So that was my welcome to Rangers. So
and you played your first game, you've made your debut in that. Obviously you're thinking I'm trained blah blah and stuff. Do you know, people say it's a pleasure, it's an honour to play for Rangers and stuff, but like for you, I mean, Rangers are, if not the biggest club in Britain, one of them, right?
yeah.
Did it still sink in that you just went and played for the famous 11, as they say, the Queen's 11?
My dad's dad, my papa, he was like a blue nose. It's obviously when I went through and I ended up getting all the the kit and the gear and that. And I remember also, I think I went down to my sister's or up to my mum and dad's before like I went to the first game. And I was standing in the living room, obviously like full tracksuit, and I was like, my old man, I think my sister and that looked at me and I was like, I'm playing with it. Like, I'm at Rangers, you know, like I've got this like I'm a Rangers player. Aye, because well, they're massive, aren't they? Like,
no.
So, but it was just what a club, like massive, like the fan base. Never like ever seen anything like it. On a, even like pre-season trips away abroad. Like
they're global, aren't they?
Oh, like we like America and like Canada and that, and you're thinking like you're the other side of the world here. Turn up to training or a game and there's like 3,000-4,000 people there, and you're like, where the hell? Like where are
where they coming from?
Like,
yeah,
just Scottish fans. They've no flew over here, surely, but no, they're like worldwide. Like
I mean, they don't get called the loyal fans for nothing. Do you know what I mean?
The fact that the Rangers fans, like unreal, like what a support, like global, like they turn up in the numbers. Like credit to them, like great support.
When you scored your first goal for them, did you think of your papa?
I did, because he had, I think, I'd played maybe a few games while he was still here, and then he had passed. So no, that was like quite a proud moment because he had got to see like me playing for the team he supported. So I know, and I remember obviously when he had passed away and we buried him, I got like one of my strips and that and put it beside him. So
that's beautiful, man.
It was quite nice.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
It was good.
That's nice and touching. I love that. With every deal, it always comes to an end.
Yeah.
Or there's new deal that gets triggered, or contracts, etc., etc. Some may say, in fact, I'll say, the end of Rangers was not a nice one, in the sense of I think few fans would say should have kept you. But obviously we're fans. We don't see the ins and outs and stuff. Ali's left.
Yeah.
Okay. We can go into that, but he's not at the club now. Okay. Stuart McCall comes in. Okay, and that transformation.
Yeah.
You've not obviously had a conversation with Stuart.
No.
New gaffer comes in. It's not the first club you've been at where the gaffers. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we can say you're used to new manager, new regime going on. But why was this one so different?
Well, where'd I start really?
You want a coffee?
It could be here a long time. But no, like obviously he's come in. Like I knew him like when he was at Motherwell.
Yeah.
Like only playing against him, like against his teams. So obviously a new manager comes in, every player knows that everybody's on like a fresh
clean slate,
impress the manager.
So it's back to square one.
Yeah,
as a player.
For everybody.
Yeah.
So up until then I'd played probably 95% of the games and like
which is true, you're starting.
unless I was injured, etc.
#IB8.
Aye. So I can't remember like the first game when he came in it. I think obviously he decided like because obviously he watched Rangers.
Yeah.
So he knew like the shape and the players and stuff like that. So like straight away he's coming in and like changed the team, like saying like this is what I'm going that, and obviously I was like not playing. I was like saying to myself like, all right, like fine, like I'll give it.
Did you think though, if you said there he was watching the team on St Rangers, obviously he's not including you in the first, probably the shaping or whatever to see what he's going with. Did you part of you think, have you been watching Rangers? Because
well,
do you know
you do say that, but again, he had played for the club, so he knew like what it meant. But no, like every player knows like when somebody comes in, they've got their own ideas.
Of course.
Obviously yeah, and he's obviously come in and said right, well, this is what I'm doing, and that's how we're going. So I was like, fair enough. Like I'll let it. Hopefully, it doesn't pan out.
Yeah.
And he like from obviously my
side. You want to be involved, obviously.
And I think the result went in my favour.
Yeah.
The
Obviously,
performance
yeah.
Anyway, so I thought perfect. Next week, so next week comes, and I was like, not even in the squad, and I was like, whoa, like in the stand, I was like no, something's
up
right
here.
here. So went and saw him, and he's like, no, like your opportunity will come. I'm just like seeing how everybody goes. Behold it, never got any. Like I never got.
Was it a cold shoulder, or was it just he just ignored you? No, let's not say ignored you. Was it just you're not my plans? But was there any communication for him to say that to you? Or listen, we know what managers are, and some people.
That's probably the worst thing about it, is because I'm not shy. If I've got a question to ask, like I'll just ask it, like knock on the door. So I went, knocked on the door, and he was like, just so everything he asked me to do, I done. Like worked hard, extra, like the players that were involved would get said, right, you come and do this.
Yeah.
I'd do it, and I was like just keep your head down, done everything, and just never got
shit.
No.
So, you know, we talk about player power and stuff. You see it with the clubs and stuff. Players don't get on, so they go into the media and stuff. What was it like for you? You're not playing, okay, and it's like, what do I do? Because when I played, I was 19, gracing the reserves and that. Like, you know, if you didn't play, you done the doggies after the game, and then that was deflating. Any player that says they enjoy that is a liar.
It just kills you, like
because you've seen your colleagues play,
you're just
and you've probably seen players that aren't probably shouldn't be playing.
Yeah.
Who you feel you're better than, and you've contributed a lot more, and then you're saying, I've got to go out there, go do the halfway back full.
Demoralising.
Yeah, it's demoralising, right?
Oh.
So how did you keep going? Like, how did you deal with it?
Well, as a player, you know it's just like a short career, so and you need to. Well, you could get an opportunity whenever, so you know, like you have to keep yourself fit
and be ready.
So, like mentally, you've got to just say, you know what, you're disappointed, but go out, do it, get your head, just get through it, and then move on. So yeah, I just kept the head down, but I just wasn't getting that opportunity. So it was getting more frustrating. But like, well, what can you do?
Yeah, no, you're right. Listen, football's marked on opinions. While at Rangers, a bit of a betting scandal came up. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm not going to ask you why you done it. Okay. Because obviously you're trying to win money. Do you know what I mean? Was it because I want to say you weren't playing and you just thought, I've got nothing to do here, I'm just at this club contributing, not playing, and it can be lonely sometimes. Was the betting for comfort, or
no? Like, you're far from it.
So right, okay, tell me.
Everybody, all players
has a flaw.
Aye, right. And they would be lying if they say they didn't. We were getting to the game, so I think there was 2 bets overall that they sort of like done me.
Okay.
Right, and one of them was like, I think it was Albion Rovers, and I won like I think £300. Well, and I laughed because I had to pay the bloody winnings back, like the lad.
Yeah.
And then obviously the one I got done for, I remember because we pulled up to the gate. I think it was still an album. We pulled up to the game, and obviously you're getting off the bus. So when you get off the bus, you can have your phone. So I think I just pushed like the first 3 games, like 3 draws. So I just went draw. Didn't even look. And I think I put a £5 on it, right? And then obviously it being Rangers.
Yeah.
And I was like, but then I scored the goal, like to win the game, right? So I'm like, so when I went obviously to tribunal, I was like, wait a minute, like I was like, if I was betting it like and meant to bet against my team, why would I bet and score the goal
to win the game?
But they're not like kick over the bar.
Yeah. I know. Or
so
make a meal of it or something.
But no, that was and then I got done for it.
Yeah. So we fans, people of sport, whatever, read about this stuff. But what was the process? Did they phone you? Did they get you to come in somewhere? Are they meeting you at Hampton, or are they coming to the club? Is it like an MIB kind of thing?
I actually can't remember how it came out. If it made the press first, or if the club, or I genuinely actually can't remember.
How did? So my point is, you open up an account online. It's your name.
It was Ladbrokes that done it. They obviously somebody on the other line, on the other side of the phone, knew obviously clicked who I was and just phoned the SFA and reported it. And then like when I turned up at the tribunal, like it was mad because I don't know how long I had the betting account, right? Obviously a couple of years, and there was these like sheets of paper on the table, right? I'm not joking, it was like that thick, right?
Wow. 2
piles, and it was literally every single bet from the minute I opened that account
till then.
To
and obviously they'll track your football career and 2 plus 2.
And they went through every single one, and I all in it was like £35 I got done for.
Really?
Like £35 worth of bet.
Did any of them, did you think, when they spoke to you about the bet, did you think, oh, I was so close with that one?
No, I laugh now, right, because I won that one of the bets, right, and I had to pay it back, and I was like, scratching my head, I was like, wait a minute, like, why am I handing that back?
Yeah.
Are they going to give me all the money back that they've let me
bet on?
Aye, and I was, you know, like, you're saying to yourself, but obviously you're not allowed to bet, but or against obviously like your team.
Yeah.
But I think I was the first player to like be done for it.
Yeah.
It was
you've been made an example of.
Aye.
Basically.
It was a nightmare. Like obviously it cost me a bomb, an absolute fortune in fine money. So yeah.
You're away from Rangers, okay. Let's talk about Hearts, okay. You know, we talked about being a dream and stuff, you know. What was it like playing at Tynecastle at home?
Like if you ask any player that, like, even now that's still playing, but more so when the Old Stand was there, like the best ground for atmosphere to play in, the 90% would say Tynecastle, because it was like close.
The
atmosphere like was obviously being a Hearts player, the derbies were the best, but Tynecastle atmosphere, like when you're doing well, like probably any ground, but Tynecastle was, and for me it was a dream, amazing atmosphere, like absolutely loved it.
So paint this place maroon.
I knew you were going to ask I knew you were going to get this one.
I've before you've got the t-shirt and read it, what are you thinking?
I know what's coming.
You know, obviously, listen, you're a Hearts fan, I get it, blah, blah. Why that phrase? And what did you think? Am I going to noise them up here, or?
It was because obviously we had went through the turmoil and not getting paid.
Yep.
So and everybody had heard painting and decorating, but one day that wasn't even a full shift. Mate wanted a hand, gave him a hand, and obviously people got wind of it and went and then started giving a bit of stick. So It was actually me Gogs, the kit man who's still there, like top man, honestly absolute gentleman. I was like, right Gogs, I want to put like, because I always wore like the t-shirt like the vest under my strap, and
was that you looked a bit?
I could fold my jersey. But it was me Gogs that it was him that actually wrote it.
Oh, really?
Aye, so no credit to Gogs, obviously. They both had the same idea type thing.
But that's good though, isn't it? Like, I mean, listen, you know, you give it, if you get it, you can give it back in that. And obviously, there's rumour like, oh, he's a painting decorator, because
people still think I am.
Yeah, I know. And
no, like I hate painting.
Can we just shine some light on it? So a friend's asked you to help him with a job. You've helped your mate out, and that's it.
Aye, it was like sort of like both, because obviously not getting paid, and I was like, you know, like I'll get a wee bit of cash here, like
money doesn't make itself, does it?
No, so I went and done that, and never obviously I think we were training, and I never turned up. Obviously, as like making like stand here, like no, like
of course, principles.
Yeah, and then people got wind it, and it just got arms and legs for there, and worked out a treat.
So, did you get any backlash?
No, but obviously,
because I can imagine the WhatsApp groups were.
No, it was. Aye, well, the game where I had it was. We got a penalty, and obviously like I had the t-shirt on, but Jamie Hamill was a penalty taker. And also I was like arguing, I was like, Hamill, I need like I've got my t-shirt too. Yeah, and obviously I missed the penalty. So that went down well, you know what I mean? So
football,
but thankfully we won the game, and then obviously I think I took the corner right next to Hearts and Hibs. And obviously when I crossed it in we scored, so that's when obviously I just turned around and thought, you know, I'll have a bit of that.
No.
Aye, and it was obviously people still remember it now, so it was a good wee.
No, I remember when I met you, and when I first saw you at Tynecastle, and I introduced myself to you, and you walked away, and I just started laughing. I was just like, because I wanted to be like, have you got the t-shirt on you now? Where is the t-shirt?
I gave it Big Hearts, or somebody at the club was doing like a charity event, or like for, and they had asked if like they could have it for like auction. So
that's nice.
Somebody's got it in their man cave or something. Aye.
So obviously you've played at senior clubs, professional, obviously Rangers, Hearts. You've represented Scotland. So let's not say winding down your career, okay? You came down a different level, a lower level. Oh yeah,
older.
Yeah. Well, people say you don't get older, you get better. But well, we can debate about that if you want.
in the head, aye. Just know your body, like my legs. But aye.
Tranent, you're loved there.
Yeah.
You know, speak to some of the people, and they love you. For you though, what was that like?
Well, when I first started like football, like as a like 8-year-old or whatever age I was, like kid, I started at like Tranent Boys Club, obviously. So being a Tranent boy, like when you come up and you're sort of like, well, you get retired.
So it's got nothing to do with them wearing maroon.
It helped. So yeah, and then my local team, like my town, and they wanted me to go in. I knew obviously a few of my mates were playing with them, and I was like, yeah, like brilliant, why not? Like it's my junior
still kicking
team.
a ball, right?
Aye, and it was my town, like you know, my junior team.
Yeah.
And I thought, yeah, no, why not? Like, just give it a go, and it was. I really enjoyed it. It was great.
You were successful.
It was. I honestly loved it, and again, why I'm not there now is politics. You know?
Yeah, listen, you know, which is very common in football, isn't it?
Politics spoils everything in life.
But do you not think though? We say football's a matter of opinions, but it's also politics, because you've got some people with very opinionated who are
two opinions.
Yeah,
Didn't know what they're talking about.
Don't know about
never
football.
Played football in their life.
Yeah, and they're trying to dictate to someone who's seen it, done it, wore a t-shirt, literally, or vest in your face.
And people also think that I'm arrogant and would say that, but like no, like far from it. Like if anything, like I try and help.
Yeah.
And basically that's what it came down to. That's why I wasn't there, because I was trying to help, and they felt as if like that's not what I should be doing, because but I was not being like disrespectful. It was just that's just what I wanted to do and give a bit back. But
see, you talk about that, Ian, right? Did you not think to yourself, you're thinking, I'm trying to help you kick on here. Do you know what I mean? Like, are you not to say like, are you alright in the head, but to be like, I'm trying to help you here to kick on. And let's be serious. Look, you've turned up for training. Boys around you'll be buzzing. They'll probably see what you do in training, see how you. Come on, let's be serious. Do you know what I mean?
To be fair though, like the group that we had there, we had like a good group, good players.
Team. Listen, Sinky, I believe was it Smeaton. Smeaton, he's a nice guy.
Obviously, someone's still there. John
Rutherford was captain now.
So no, we had a good group anyway. So, but obviously some of them were jammers as well, like Smeaton. So, but no, like bottom line is that like politics got in the way. And
listen, it's tell you what they could do, to be fair. But experience to last hurdle of the season and that.
I think that's what probably cost them the Scottish Cup game. I think if they had, and I'd spoke to obviously one of the board members, and I was and I said that to him. I went like, it's experienced, a couple of old heads. I said, and I think the Scottish Cup draw they still an hour and end up getting Rangers. Do you know what I mean? But
that could have done them a big.
That would have probably kept them going for the next 10 years. Do you know what I mean?
Easily.
Tranent, like great club. Would I go back? Possibly. But again, I'm just retired. Enjoying watching.
And then
watching games.
You went down. I say down or up the A1, Dunbar.
Yeah.
So talk me through that, because Dunbar, obviously a good setup, great pitch, great clubhouse. Good pint, by the way.
That's a good pint in there. It's not too expensive either.
Exactly.
Before you get it to Tynecastle, it's cheaper it gets as well. So
I mean, obviously you still wanted to play at the time.
Yeah.
Was it just to keep ticking over, or was it just for your mind to be like, I still want to kick a ball, I feel I can still do a job?
Aye, but obviously because I'd left during the season. Yeah. So you're fit, you've still got the hunger. So obviously like Jeff Jones had phoned me. And just obviously said, look, can I have a chat?
Yeah.
And he obviously I spoke to Trent and said he was going to speak to me. Went, met him. Nice guy. Liked what his plans were and his thoughts. Dunbar for Trent, 15 minutes. And I thought, keep myself ticking over at the end of the season. And just signed there and gave it a wee shot down there.
So I've got to ask you, Dunbar, Tranent. Good answer.
Being a Trent. You got the belt, you got a Trent boy.
The last thing I'll say to you, you scored against Beaufort Farm.
Right.
Which goal did you enjoy the most?
Well, the best, out the both of them, the best one was the one against Rangers.
That was the best one, but did you enjoy that the most?
Aye. It was a good finish, and we won that. I won that game as well.
Yeah, you did. You got I think it was the winner you got, actually. Was it not? Did you not get the winner?
I can't remember.
Well, you won anyway.
We won, but mind you, the Celtic, because that was a good finish. The Celtic one was a deflected one, over the head over Foster, but
you take them all though.
Well, for me, I never scored a lot.
I was going to say that.
The Rangers one, it was a good finish. I remember Hamill just rolling it in. Well, it was a shot. People will say it was a cross, but it was a good finish. When
it comes off your boot and it goes in, you know what you're doing.
When it hits the net, it's meant.
Exactly.
So, the Rangers goal. It was a good goal.
Good. So, away from football, you're in Thailand now. Yes. What's that like? Getting up, being in a tracksuit.
I love it. Just get up at your own, well, I can get up when I want, self-employed, innit? Not that the other half likes that. Always make sure I'm up, but no, it's different, and well, enjoying it. Really.
Are you happy?
Very
happy.
Very.
And you're still young, and you look back at your career. I know you always get asked this: have you got no regrets? Is there anything slightly, if I know that's not slightly, is there anything you'd do different in your whole career? Or it's like, for example, would you have said something?
No.
You wish you said something, or
No.
because when you look back in your career, you don't know that.
No.
You done alright.
Probably the Rangers deal. Maybe I've got that in writing.
Yeah.
To confirm, like.
Let's. Do you know what? Let's just go conclude on that. Obviously, you were. The agreement was that on your 20 appearances, you get another year.
Right. Well, the original deal was it was 3 years with like a fourth year if we had got into Europa League and 20 appearances. But obviously, when they went down, the Europa League was going to get that. So we agreed just to 20 appearances. So just shook hands, and I was like perfect, fine. So obviously then got my 20 appearances and never got a deal because probably my fault, agent's fault for not getting it like in writing. But again,
it's a level of trust, though,
you speak to the club and it's a gentleman's agreement, and as a man,
it was good. No, 100%.
Like you would,
your word's your word.
Yeah.
Your word. So now we know how Harry Kane feels.
Yeah.
Amazing. That's
No,
amazing.
pleasure,
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I really enjoyed that.